Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Caballero and well, as always, I'm here in Etceter Crag Mines and I'm mining for gold and iron ores. And also, while I'm mining, I'm going to go through the newly posted release 54 instructions. Okay, so I'm going to do that while I'm mining. It's not easy, but so let's go and check out release 54 or the release 54 instructions. And there you go, we're now looking at the release 54 instructions. Release 54 will happen on this coming Thursday. Well, it's Thursday already, my time. But for those in the US, it will happen at around 10:30 a.m. Central Time, May 31, Thursday. Okay, so that would be like Friday for me. So that's tomorrow. Okay, so let's scroll down. So here we have really the just a graphic, and it says release 54 is the second release in which we focused on the current iteration of our top 10 priorities. We were able to address most, not all, but most of the items on that list in some fashion. We made strong progress in performance, physical goods, improved reward cycle, user interface polish, player direction, and story polish. Performance, we have made major improvements to both frame rate and load times. Really? Really? Through a combination of Unity upgrades, asset optimization, performance fallbacks, and bug fixes. Usually they will just tell you, to buy a new video card or, to get an SSD or a solid state drive to improve your computer's performance. Hopefully this time the improvements are actually real, without using without resorting to buying a new video card, which I just did a few days ago. I have yet to buy a solid state drive because I don't have the cash for it. New and polished scenes. Steady progress continues on rebuilding scenes that were previously cloned from other scenes. In release 54, we uncloned 2 more adventure scenes, Upper Tiers and Shaminian Hills. We also uncloned the town of West End. Additionally, we polished almost 20 different scenes in the game with various improvements like additional conversations, new books, quest improvements, and additional traps. It's a trap! So hopefully those polish didn't make the scenes unplayable or it didn't introduce new bugs. Sometimes when they do a polish, they would they would make the scene better, but they would also introduce new bugs or new things that would make the scene worse. Okay. It's like a trade-off, trading up a few good things to a few bad things. Okay, story polish and side quests. We continue to polish the story with additional side quests, balance and dialogue. And wait a minute, let me fight these 2 ghosts first. Where am I? Balance and dialogue additions, including backer NPCs for the Novian capital of Central Brittany. There are also now side quests to obtain the gear the companions wield, and that gear has virtue effects tied to it. Finally, there is a new set of quests leading to underground areas in the perennial coast that tie into story elements from Solace Bridge outskirts. Okay, companions. Rounding out your party with 3 companions in offline mode will be much more rewarding in Release 54. They are more powerful as the party levels up. They have many more abilities to use. They are better at using their abilities. So this is one of the companions. Crafting and economy. We added a ton of new recipes and patterns to the game, including recipes for banners, bathtubs, elven lights, and a new cloak. We also improved the commission player vendors such that they now charge a commission when an item is sold rather than a fee when it is listed. That is definitely a welcomed change, because before commissioned vendors would charge the fee upon listing the item. So if you wish to change the price of the item, you'll need to take it off the vendor and then relist it and pay the fee again. So that is it's a huge punishment. It's not a gold sink. It's like more punishment. It's like punishing the player for relisting the item. So now you can, if you put up an item or you list an item for sale, the fee will be charged when the item is sold. So if you wish to change the price of the item, you can take the item out without paying the fee, without paying any fees. So you can take it off the vendor, put it back in the vendor, take it off the vendor, list it back in the vendor without the game charging you a lot of game gold. Okay, so we added pattern removers to the game as another option, in addition to salvage and replacement for retrieving applied eternal patterns. Okay, so just so you know, pattern removers are add-on store items. Okay, skeleton plunderers and polish. Skeleton plunderers who look remarkably like pirate skeletons are the latest addition to the armies of the undead. We also polished some existing characters, including the Ice Wolves, the Crown Merchant, and the Prosguise Victim. So here we have some pictures. A picture of the skeleton plunderers. Okay, so let's go through the what's actually in Release 54. Again, Release 54 happens, or it will get released tomorrow, May 31 at around 10:30 p.m. or a.m. Central Time. So that's like it's like June 1 for me, because it's going to happen tomorrow, and today is already May 31 for me. So basically, I'm in the future, and everything is happening in the past. Okay, story. We will continue to work on adding side quests. Let's go with this one. Conversation polish. We polish the order at which the keywords appear in the menu to better aid conversation navigation. We also fixed over 500 typos and finally added the spell checker to our conversation tool to prevent this in the future. So they added a spell checker because whomever writing the story can't spell. And that is a good idea, especially if you can spell. It doesn't mean that if you doesn't mean a good writer is a good speller. So you can write a best-selling novel and still you still get some still get some misspellings or typos in the story, especially in during the draft of the story. So now they added a spell checker, a spell check, something like that. New user experience polish. We added more hints to the new user experience, including information about the following: targeting, encumbrance, healing faster when out of combat, quest indicators on the compass, and heal spell. This will take me an hour to go through all of it, all the information. Shroud of the Avatar, the monthly releases are full of information and full of new things that's going to be released in the game or added in the game, or were added basically. Well, they're not added yet. They will tomorrow again. These are just the instructions of, or the information of what's going to be added or what will happen in the game tomorrow during the release. Okay, scene rebuilds. We have here some minion hills. Of course, West End as well, and upper tiers. I've never been to some minion hills and upper tiers. Okay, let's go to side quests. We have here Fiona Fitz Owens merchandise. Every good musician has merchandise for sale. Luckily, Fiona will give you hers for a song. Speak to her either as a companion or while she is giving a performance at Pelagers Inn in Ardoris in online mode, and ask if you can help her to learn how to obtain her unique Fitz-Owen legacy gear, including the unique triple crossbow and loot. Look at that, a triple crossbow. Is it better than a single crossbow or a dual crossbow? I have no idea. I've never used a crossbow in Shroud of the Avatar. Maybe it's better. Maybe it shoots like 3 arrows. That is the real question. Does it shoot 3 arrows? So if you use it on an enemy, will it hit 3 times? That would be freaking awesome and insane and very overpowered. If it does shoot 3 arrows per attack, I will definitely get this, and maybe change my specialization to range. Okay, armor fit for a knight. The armor worn by the most stalwart of the Knights of Norgard is built to withstand the toughest punishment. Well, I'm sure it will not stand the punishment that Portalarium deals their players. There's a lot of punishing things in the game, so you'll have, if you don't have the endurance, the patience, and the the necessary virtues, you might not enjoy playing Shroud of the Avatar. Okay, so it's metal tested in the fires of war. Now you can assist the knights and earn the right to wear your own, just like that worn by Sir Conrad Dupree, one of Norgard's finest defenders. Speak with Conrad either as a companion or at his post in Resolute to learn the secrets of Knightly Order plate. Rumor has it that true stalwarts will be rewarded not only with a complete set, but with a matching sword and shield, much like Conrad's own. Look at that. So actually, if you get this shield, it won't match the plate armor, because the plate armor has the courage symbol, which is the bell, while the shield has the resolute resolute heraldry, which is the gauntlet. So it wouldn't match the plate armor. Okay, so the last of the order, Ariel Rosehaven, the last surviving member of the Order of Truth. Wow, what happened to them? Did the Obsidian Kabbalists destroy the order? Is willing to share the secrets of the arcane robes that members of the order wear. Speak with Ariel either as a companion while in offline mode or in the airy town square in online mode, and ask about the Order of Truth to learn how these robes can be yours, along with the legendary mighty Cudgel of Obvious Truth. Cudgel, rumored to enable its user to win almost any argument. What? That is a weird ability, or power. So these are side quests. Okay, it's not part of the main story quest. So you can choose to do them or not. Defeat 4 Kabbalists. We improved the journal entries to better inform players to only report back after the full set of 4 Kabbalists have been defeated. So they say they improved the journal. Seriously? Really? Should I believe that? Should I believe that you finally improved the journal entries? We won't see any more bugs in the journal entries like the one I have right now? With Speak with Cassie, whom I've already spoken like, well, I'm going to exaggerate, like 1,000,000 times. Seriously, I've already spoken to Cassie like a few times and still it's in my journal. So the journal entries are bugged. So it says here that we improved the journal entries. Really? Okay, anyway, move on. Ebon Dawn Skimming. Okay, another side quest. A new Ebon Dawn prisoner is being held at a guard post in Port Graph. Players can chat with him to learn about the Ebon Dawn and the new skimming emote. Okay. So the Ebon Dawn will teach you an emote. Okay, so that is mighty nice of that Ebon Dawn. Maybe this Ebon Dawn is a good guy. So why is he in prison? Maybe the Ebon Dawn, that cult, the Ebon Dawn, maybe they're not bad people. Because look at that, he's willing to teach you a new emote. Next we have the prank is on Shandy. Shandy Chapman, sea wandering merchant in scene polish below, can't really handle being pranked, and if you lie to him enough, he will almost have a heart attack. Thus you will learn the new heart attack emote. So if you lie to Shandy, you'll get an emote. Wow. Okay, so that's kind of dark. You'll get the heart attack emote. Who wants to get that? Who wants to get a heart attack? Seriously, even for an NPC, that's not really nice. Obviously, if you lie to someone, you'll definitely get a hit in your virtue or virtues, especially the virtue of truth. So I guess it's that is some kind of a trade-off. You lie, and well, this is Shroud of the Avatar. You can always increase your truth by by some kind of quest. So lying to one NPC doesn't really matter, especially if you want to get a really dark emote like having a heart attack. Okay, Stinking Bandit Stan Clark, the bard in the Sultan Inn, will send you into the Sultan sewers to retrieve his family ring from the bandit leader. Oh, okay, I've met the bandit leader. I've killed him like multiple times. Never gave me anything. And now the bandit leader is giving what? A ring? Wow. Returning his family ring will reward you the head bandage, which has a special health regeneration effect. After all, being an adventurous avatar will cause the occasional head injury, so Stan feels the head bandage is the perfect reward. There's a lot of side quests here. The Bandit and the Skeleton Prince. The Skull Orator makes another appearance, this time inside Salttown sewers. He has been instructed to test your virtues once again by requesting that you retrieve 2 items. A blue gem container from the bandit leader. Ooh, poor bandit leader, okay. And a red crystal phylactery. How do you say that? Phylactery, whatever. From the Skeleton Prince. As usual, the orator does not care how you get the items, just that you fulfill their task. Will you complete the task to get the League of Skulls to get in the League of Skulls good graces and receive the League of Skulls copper coin? Or will you attract their ire and get visits from skull clippers and skull cutters? The choice is yours. Well, again, Shroud of the Avatar, most of the choices are like somewhat meh, okay, something like that. It won't really affect you that much, even if you choose one or the other. So, do the quest and get the rewards. The virtue system in Shroud of the Avatar is very, very basic actually. So it's not like a long-lasting. You'll get long-lasting virtue hits, things like that, or it will turn you into an evil avatar. So there's nothing like that in Shroud of the Avatar. It's really what do you call this? It doesn't really affect anything actually. Okay, so there's really no good in and evil, because your virtue changes very easily. So there are no evil avatars in Shroud of the Avatar. Most of them are kinda neutral or chaotic neutral or unlawful good, something like that. I don't know. But there are no evil avatars in Shroud of the Avatar. Okay, so next we have Hearthstone Horrors. Going deeper into the Salttown sewer. Okay, so most of this quest, or this quest, at least the ones that I've read are happens in Salttown sewers. You will run into fearsome bloodbone footmen, mages, and archers. Defeating and looting these enemies may give you a mysterious heartstone, a blood-red hand-sized stone carved into the shape of a human heart. The heartstone seems to push you further into the sewer depths and into Solania catacombs. What could this strange stone want that's within the Solania catacombs? It's up to you to find out. The ichor which awaits, or is that ichor? Ichor or ichor? The ichor which awaits. While investigating the Solania catacombs, you may find a wounded White Guard soldier. She will tell you that she is investigating the uprising of the Blood Bones, skeletal abominations that bear a striking resemblance to bloody bones of Solace Bridge outskirts. She will ask you to finish what she started by going deeper into the catacombs and eliminating what could be the thing that brought the Blood Bones, the Ichor Witch. Defeating the Ichor Witch will get you a nice black skull trophy to put alongside your bloody bone skull trophy and those eyes. Excuse me. Next we have the Old Prospector quest. In release 53, we added this emote as a side quest with an extremely limited availability, only the opening weekend of the release. Even though the emote was teachable and therefore still attainable from other players, we received a large amount of negative feedback on this delivery method, so we've added this new follow-up quest from the same Old Prospector and this time there's no time limit on the availability of the dance reward. Even players who have already completed the Lucky Nugget quest can pick up these new quests. Okay, so if there's a if a lot of players complained, then things will change. So so keep on complaining, people. Complain about everything. You know, the more you complain, the more people, not just one, okay, one person complaining won't change anything. But if you can get, like, you know, a lot of players complaining, then as you can see from this one, they will change things. You know, maybe if you keep complaining about what combat and other things, maybe they will change combat, you know, make it like the ones that I played yesterday, you know, Lineage 2 Revolution. The combat is in that game is insane, because you don't have to do anything. You just have to sit down and watch as your character fight enemies for you. So maybe people would enjoy that kind of combat, you know, the kind of combat that you don't do anything. Next, we have the Courage Chest Armor Quest Polish. We made some improvements to the Broken Echo Silver Mine. 4 months Conversation. Virtue Armor Migration. In Release 53, we fixed the quest to obtain the various pieces of Virtue Armor so that all the armor items would have the correct material bonus. Example, Leather Armor of Leggings of Love. In Release 54, we will perform an item migration for everyone who got the items before this fix, so they should now have the correct items. Arcane Catalyst. We have adjusted the Scout quest in the Sieges so that the Arcane Catalyst can only be turned in once per day. To balance this limit, we have increased the required catalyst to 18 and the reward to 12,000 XP. Note, this quest previously had no daily limit and therefore was being used for leveling exploits. And wow, so they know there was an exploit. Seriously, you guys know there is an exploit and you waited like an entire month, or maybe I don't know how long this exploit existed, and you waited that long to fix it. You can't even, you know, release an emergency patch to fix it. Wow, seriously guys, what are you guys doing? I know you guys are busy, but we're talking about an exploit here. It's an exploit, and you admitted that players are, you know, exploiting this exploit to level up their characters. And I've read somewhere that some players have been banned for it. Okay, but still, even if you ban players for use or for exploiting this exploit, and yet you leave it there for like what, 1 or 2 months, I'm not sure, but at least 1 month, there will be, you know, people or players who will, you know, try and attempt to use it, or risk using it, and hope they won't get banned for that. Okay, seriously, you know there is an exploit. You know there is an exploit. And what did you do? You just left it alone. You just left it alone. Why? I don't know why. I don't know what you guys are thinking. If that was me, if I was running the ship, I know there's an exploit. Hey, create an emergency patch. Let's patch the damn game so that nobody else can use the exploit. And if you did that, then you won't have to ban anyone else. Seriously guys, come on, what are we doing here? Wow. Okay, so next we have virtue banners. Players will no longer accidentally receive quest completion flags from being traded or picking up another player's virtue banner, which prevented them from being able to receive their own. Okay, so that is obviously a bug. Well, it's not a game-breaking bug, but when we're talking about exploits, you know there's an exploit, you patch it immediately. You release an emergency patch. You stop what you're doing, and you instruct your team to, hey, fix this thing. Okay, so that we don't lose any more players. Seriously, whenever you ban someone, you lose a player. And this game doesn't have a lot of players. And a game without players usually die. So that's how MMORPGs work. Okay, no players, the game dies. And whenever you ban a player, you lose a player. My goodness. Well, I'm somewhat semi-ranting because okay, so something happened. There you go. Okay, so it seems that my keyboard stopped working. What? I have this generic cheap keyboard. Well, it works, but now it stopped working. I don't know what happened. Okay, at least I can still move. Using my mouse, of course. Okay, now I can move. So I fixed the problem by just disconnecting the keyboard and reconnecting the keyboard back. Okay, so it's a USB keyboard, and it's a cheap keyboard because I can't buy a new keyboard because I just bought a new video card, and that video card, the GTX 1050, cost me like $200. My goodness, I'm not a very rich person, so $200 is already a lot of money for me. Okay, so let's go back. Scene Polish, Central Brittany. Okay, ruins of Ravensmoor. So it says here, we have increased the scale of this scene to make the rooms and corridors more spacious, to give more space for combat. For Central Brittany, they added the NPC with the NPC names, okay, for backers. Ruin Keep, similar to Ravensmoor. Okay, Salttown Sewers and Solania Catacombs. The tier of both of these sewers have been raised to tier 2 with some tier 3 enemies in the deepest parts. Wandering Merchant random encounter. Shandy Chapman is back. Look for a traveler in Novia along the roads of the perennial coast and check out his uncommon goods. But be careful about what you say to him, saying the wrong thing could give him a heart attack. Yep, that was mentioned above. All the Brittany neighborhoods now have teleporter signpost networks that allow for fast travel within each scene. Okay, where is the evidence? I don't know where the evidence is. Is there an enemy? Okay. Casting light. Where is advice? What? NPC in many towns, along with the paths of the story, will now advise players that they can ask them the location of the other NPCs. What? Wait. I'm reading that incorrectly. So NPCs in many towns along the path of the story will now advise players that they can ask them the location of other NPCs by asking, where is insert name. Okay, so that is a good addition, because asking an NPC is the one of the what do you call this, natural way of getting information, obviously, and should be the natural way of getting information about a certain town, a certain event, a certain quest. So right now, if you ask an NPC something, they would just answer, I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone. Well, not really. Okay, so bespoke gear advice. Adventurer trainers in Aerie, Ardoris, and Result will now advise players to upgrade their gear with Outlander crafted items. Outlander crafted items. Why? Why would they do that? Okay, so that's not good for business. NPC merchants won't like that. If you tell them, hey, you can buy good items or high level items from other players, not NPC merchants. Okay, new book, The Runes of the Obsidian Septagram. Scholars looking to fill out their bookcases of Obsidian philosophies will want to add this one. It can be found in the Reliquarium of Joanna Ford, among other places. New book, Lord British sings work songs. What? Lord British sings work songs. Make your workday pass quickly with these memorable ditties adapted by Lord British in this songbook that can be found somewhere in Castle Brittany. Okay, so hey, that's a new reason to go to Castle Brittany and steal something. Okay, so go ahead and steal from Lady Arabella's castle. I believe that castle is owned by Lady Arabella, not Lord British. Even though it's called Castle Brittany. From what I know, Lord British's castle is not in the game just yet. Maybe in episode 2. Okay. I'm just looting these corpses, getting the items from the dead undead. New book in Runic, The Cataclysm, The Obsidian Magic, Concave of Celestis, Pomorian Wars, and about the Dirai, I don't know how to read that, sorry, prophecy. Several new books have been added that share bits and pieces of history which can be learned as long as you can read Runic. And I'm not going to excuse me, I'm not going to learn how to read Runic, seriously. Learning a new letters, it's not even a language because it's based on the English letters. They just changed the look of the letters, so it's not really a new language. But I'm not going to try and learn reading that. Okay, so for me that's not fun. Okay, mining is fun. Learning to read Runic is not fun. We have Granus Colossus. The gates which lock during the wave battles in this scene now have accompanying VFX. Grunwald Shardfall. We deleted one of the spawn points so players will no longer have a chance to appear next to the dragons. Blood Bay. We shifted one of the scene's entrance spawns so that it would no longer collide with a player lock. Nightshade Pass and Hilt Fortress. Both of these scenes now have a variety of traps added to them. They were both built before we had traps. Scrack. We added traps to the prison area at the entrance of the caverns of Scrack and also added traps to the outdoor entrance map of Scrack. Saltdown. We fixed an issue where the refugees had stopped sitting. Bandit and skeleton roving encounters. We converted these encounters to wave battles. Be careful of the high threat menaces that appear from killing a few of the starting enemies. Okay, so this change is nice, but I don't think new players will like that. Seriously. it's already hard getting new players to stay playing the game. So if a new player, you know, a very low level player encountered an encounter and then fight up the waves, because you know it's a wave battle, and then there's a boss that they can't kill, I think that will only frustrate them, especially if it happens often to them. So I don't know. I know it's a good change. It gives the change added some kind of challenge to the encounters, but hopefully new players won't be affected by this change. So I'm just saying. Okay, so what's next? Blood River outskirts, we made the water below the broken log bridge deeper so that new players will no longer fall to their death in a starting scene. Airy, we replaced one of the two textile merchants with a tailoring merchant. That is a good change, because if you're looking to buy something from a tailoring merchant, you won't find one in Airy, but now you can. Check in with Sally Buttons by the docks about her new inventory. Isle of Storms, the Enter the Lunar Rift task should now clear properly from your what? I don't understand this. That sentence is like a tongue twister, my goodness. So the Enter the Lunar Rift task should now clear properly from your task list. Okay. So it was hard reading it the first time because sometimes my brain is faster than my mouth. Okay, so I'm just fighting off this last ghost here. So cruel, in the Shock Monkey Arena we added red lights flanking each door with flash while the monkeys that enter from that door are engaged. We also deleted sulfurous ash resources nodes that were spawned awkwardly in open spaces or moved them toward walls. I don't know what those are, but maybe those are good changes. So next we have Challenge Dungeon. The waves are now staggered so that half of the enemies spawn at the start of the wave, and an additional enemy spawns every few seconds until the maximum for that wave is reached, rather than having them all spawn at once as before. Okay, Resolute, we polished the visual effects of all the geothermal steam effects in the city. South Boundless Forest, we added the proper visual effect for the Blessing of the Tamer. Cave Fables 1 to 4. Previously, booksellers only stocked Cave Fables 2 and 3. Now you can read the complete works, as we have stocked booksellers with Cave Fables 1, 2, 3, and 4. I guess they just wanted to, wanted book collectors to get the books easily, because before you'll have to look for the books by adventuring, by exploring New Britannia. Okay, new and polished in-game maps. So look at that, a list of maps. Scene fixes. Okay, so we have a list of scenes that were fixed. Performance. Okay, look at that, performance. Hopefully performance improvement doesn't involve like buying a new video card or buying a solid state drive. It kind of annoys me. It's very annoying whenever I read a developer saying, "Oh, go get yourself a solid state drive, and that will improve loading times dramatically." Obviously, sir. Obviously, any game will even you know I can't even give an example of a game that will well, any game will have a dramatic increase in improvement when installed on a solid state drive, not just Shroud of the Avatar. Seriously, so that's why it annoys me whenever they say that, "Oh, just get an SSD and the load times will drastically decrease." Obviously, sir, obviously, it's obvious. Okay, it's obvious. The question is improving the load times with traditional spinning drives. That is the real task. Okay, so again, the real challenge is improving load times with traditional spinning drives. Okay, not improving load times by buying, by the player buying a solid state drive. I don't think that's an improvement. Well, it's an improvement, but but it's from the part of the player, not from the developers. Okay, because it's obvious. Okay, any game or anything you install on a solid state drive will have massive improvement. Okay, my goodness, seriously. And they also like to say buy a new video card. That also annoys me, because when I started playing the game, my computer was way above the minimum system requirements. Of course, minimum system requirements increase often, or it's normal to increase during development, but they should try and improve the game, and to what the goal is to improve the game even with on low-end machines, because not a lot of players own high-end machines. In fact, even there are even players who are complaining about bad performance, and they have high-end machines. So it's not just about low-end machines. Even players with high-end machines there are a few who have complained about getting crashes, getting performance issues, even though they have a very high-end machine that can run even Star Citizens at the highest graphics setting. Okay, so obviously if you can run Star Citizen at a very high graphics setting, then you can run Shroud of the Avatar, obviously. But there are cases, or there are players who have complained about not being able to play the game even though they have a very high-end machine. Anyway, moving forward, performance work will mainly focus on improving frame rate and reducing hitching during gameplay. Work will also continue to be done on load time reduction on a few outstanding scenes that are not meeting our 15-second load time target. I really don't think that's true. 15 seconds load time target. And of course they will say, "Oh, it's 15 seconds on a solid state drive." We're not talking about 15 seconds on a spinning drive. I don't even know what to call a spinning drive is. A magnetic drive? Are hard drives still magnetic? Again, I'm not sure what's the context of that 15-second load time target is. Okay, is that 15 seconds on a SSD, or is that 15 seconds on a traditional HD? That is the question. Okay, that is the question. If it's on a traditional hard drive, then well, that's great. But if it's on a solid state drive, then that's really bad, actually. Seriously, it's bad. What? You're asking us to buy a solid state drive? What? That's not, again, that's not improvement. Well, it's improvement on our part, not on the game's part. Okay, load times. We identified a major Unity bug that have been causing load times to steadily increase over the last few releases, upsetting all the gains we had managed to achieve. Luckily, we identified the issue and have implemented a workaround that has gotten us back to our 15-second or shorter load time target on most maps. Okay, fighting it goes first. And now there's a skeleton and a few ghosts, my goodness. So these enemies are only here to annoy miners, you know, to interrupt miners. Because they don't really give any good loot except maybe for recall, teleport scrolls, and supply bundles. And those are rare, by the way, especially supply bundles. And at most, you'll get like you'll only get like a yellow supply bundle. You won't get anything higher than that. I've opened a bunch of yellow supply bundles. I didn't get a rollout or a deed. I didn't get a deed from yellow bundles. Okay, audio. We have identified and fixed several issues with how we were loading and streaming audio that were hurting performance. Reflections. We rewrote how we handle reflections on water, for example. And we also added this to the quality settings in the option menu. Unity 2018, we have upgraded to the latest version of Unity on PC and Mac. Linux is still awaiting a fix from Unity for input issues. I don't get it. They keep on upgrading Unity, but then again, there are like a lot of new games out there that runs on Unreal 3. I think that's Unreal 3, and they look awesome. But here they like to of course, upgrading means you'll get a lot of benefits from the upgrade, but it obviously will also increase the minimum system requirement of the game, and might also introduce a lot of bugs. So they fixed tons of bugs from the previous Unity version. Then they upgrade to a new Unity version. Obviously, that will introduce a lot of new bugs, thus upsetting what they did in the last Unity upgrade. Anyway, default quality setting. The default quality setting was originally set to fastest before we made a lot of your recent performance optimizations. We have now upgraded the default to good. No, get it back to fastest. Seriously, return that to fastest. So sometimes the developers of Shroud of the Avatar don't really know their game. So they set the default to good before it was in fast. Fastest is the safest setting, because as I've said earlier, even there are even players with high-end machines that are crashing or having performance issues. So fastest is the safest setting. So let the players increase their graphics setting. So if fastest works for them, then they will increase to fast, and then if fast works for them, they will increase it to good, and then if good works for them, they will increase it to simple, and so on and so forth. So setting it to good and then it crashes, then this new player, what? This game sucks. This game crashes. This game has poor performance. then he will go on a rant, he will go on Steam, put on post a negative review of the game just because the default setting of the graphics is set to good, and he wasn't able to decrease it or lower it to fastest. Again, that's just me. I feel that the safest setting is the fastest setting. Okay, a few less annoyed new players is a good thing right now for Shroud of the Avatar. Okay, asset optimization. Several assets in the game were either too high polygon count, too large of a texture, made of too many individual objects, too many particles. We continue to make passes through those objects and fixing those issues. Lost Veil Grand Artificer, Sluice Doors, Avatar Wearables LODs, Humanoid NPCs LODs, Rugs and Pavers now set to Natcast Shadows. Memory used for all icons in the game was cut in half. Ooh, that's nice. So it says here, memory used for all icons was cut in half. Hopefully that will reduce the game's memory usage. Mail loading. A recent discovery was that we reload mail after each scene change. For players with a large amount of mail, this could amount to several seconds or more. This should be resolved in the first patch, and mail load time will be moved to be incrementally loaded after the scene starts. So that is definitely a good update or change. But they are still forgetting one thing with the in-game mail system. We need a sent confirmation box. As you know, Shroud of the Avatar has real money trading in the game. They allow it. So if you deliver an item, especially something bought with real cash, and it doesn't have a confirmation, a sent confirmation that tells you that you delivered the item, that could be a big problem in the future. That is if the game becomes popular and get like thousands or even tens of thousands of players. Okay, that would become a problem, because somebody can just say, I never received the item even though you sent it, but because there is no confirmation that you sent the item via in-game mail, someone can just claim that no, you didn't send the item. I never received the item. So that could cause drama. Okay, so what we need right now, so this mail loading fix is a good fix. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad, but what we need now, because of RMT, is a sent mail confirmation, something that confirms that you sent the item. It could be just a message, okay, like for example, message sent to blah blah blah, something like that. Okay, in a note, in a letter, something. Just like when you receive a message whenever you sell something. So if I send someone another avatar 10,000 game gold via in-game mail, I should get a sent confirmation, or a confirmation that the item was definitely sent to the other player or to the other avatar. So we need that because of RMT. Okay, so to avoid drama in the future, of course, unless the developers are not really looking forward to the future, maybe, I don't know. If they're planning to make this game last for like maybe 10 to 20 more years, they should really add that now. Or maybe they're not planning on making this game popular. Well, with the issues with performance and improvements, not sure if the game will get a lot of players. Again, most players don't have a high-end machine. Okay, so not everyone has, has money. Not everyone has like tens of thousands of dollars to buy a machine to play Shroud of the Avatar. Okay, so but then again, maybe low-end machine owners are not the target audience for this game. So that means I'm not the target audience as well. Okay, so I'm kind of semi-ranting. Okay, crafting and economy, commission player vendor fee change. So I've already talked about this earlier. Player vendors who charge commission now charge a commission when the item is sold instead of a fee when the item is listed. This should make those managing inventory in these vendors and using patterns on these vendors much more palatable. Note, for players who have existing listings for which a fee was already paid, we have zeroed out the sold commission so they will not get charged twice. Okay, so this is definitely a good change. Before, Darkstar would always argue about avatars using player vendors as containers, as storage. Seriously, that was, I don't know what he was thinking. Who would use a player vendor as storage? Because one thing, if you have a player vendor, that means you have a lot, and if you have a lot, that means you can put down containers, and if you can put down containers, that means you can use those containers as storage. Why would you use a player vendor, a vendor, as your storage when you can put down a lot of containers to use as storage? So in many months, Darkstar was arguing about this change. Okay, he keeps saying that no, players will use player vendors as containers. No, they will use them as containers, and we keep saying no, they won't. No, they won't. No, and finally they realized they were wrong. Okay, I don't know what happened. I guess they got enlightened somehow. Then they realized, oh man, we're wrong. These guys are right. Why would I use a player vendor, a vendor as my storage when I can just put down bags, chests, and other containers in my lot? And thankfully they realized, or Darkstar realized, that he was wrong, and they are now changing how commissioned vendors work. Okay, so as I've said earlier, if a lot of players complain and you're making sense, your complaint is making sense, they will hopefully change the thing that you're complaining about. Okay, so pattern removers. Okay, previous to release 54, the only way to change a pattern or retrieve an eternal pattern that had been applied to an item was to either salvage the item or to apply another pattern to the same item. Okay, so my avatar is not mining, so I have to, as you know, I'm mining. I'm controlling my avatar manually. I'm not using any of those illegal programs. And there are, I believe, players, avatars out there who are using those illegal programs to automate their mining activity. Well, that's not me. I do everything by the book. Even though there's no book, there's just a post. Okay, radio effect on patterns. The radio function that comes with the clockwork armor helmets would previously be lost when the eternal pattern was salvaged. This has been fixed, such that the radio function is now attached to the pattern and is preserved when salvaged and when the pattern is applied. Vendor items sort by name. After reviewing feedback from players, we have reverted the default sorting of items on vendors to alphabetically by the name of the item instead of by date of listing or time remaining. I don't know who gave these guys the idea of sorting the items by date. I don't know who, and whoever it is, that was a mistake. That was a bad suggestion. That was a bad move. Why? Because it's hard to look for an item when the item is sorted by date. But of course, you can always, you know, sort the item by name yourselves. But hey, why change something that's working and change it to something that's not working by default? Seriously, seriously, why? I don't know. Sometimes these guys are crazy with their changes. And now look at that, they reverted it back to its previous default setting, which was you know, listing or sorting the items in vendors by name. So thanks for that. Now searching for an item is not that hard. Okay, double producer experience for the first 2 weeks of release 54. You will get double producer experience for all crafting related activities. You will also gain double producer experience for any quests that reward producer experience. That's nice. Recipe costs. We have begun adjusting recipe prices so that some higher difficulty recipes sold on merchants will cost higher amounts of gold. The first recipes affected are houses and musical instruments. Recipe decorations. Recipe items may now be placed as decorations on player lots. Okay, hopefully the new recipe decorations doesn't look like, you know, the scroll, you know, the what do you call this, the rolled up paper. So if you have a map, if you have a raffle ticket, if you use them as decoration, they appear as rolled up paper tied with a ribbon, so like a scroll, something like that. So hopefully it doesn't look like that. No, maybe you know, make the recipe look more like a piece of paper. Okay, anyway, I'm glad they're now decorations. Okay, new recipes and patterns. Look at that, we have new basements. And of course, the 2-story storefront row houses. So we have a 2-story storefront row house. It's craftable. The recipe is, you'll find the recipe in our doors. But why don't we have a 4-story storefront row house? Why? What is the reason for that? Wouldn't it be nice? Okay, so sometimes some words I have problems saying quickly. Like, wouldn't it be nice? I can't say that faster than that. So wouldn't it be nice if we have like a 2-story, a 3-story, a 4-story craftable storefront row house? That would be really, really nice. Again, the recipe, you'll find that in our doors. Of course, we have basement hatch, mine basement, manhole, storm cellar, craftsman basement, shogun basement, obsidian basement. Oh, okay. I'm going to stop at craftsman basement. So those other basements above the craftsman basement are, oh, they're not. Wait. There's something wrong here. So all these basements are. Okay, so yep. So the following basements, the mine, the manhole, the storm cellar, the craftsman, are available in game, and you can buy them from the what do you call this? From the deed merchant. From any deed merchant, it says here. So deed merchants are NPC merchants. And the rest, like the Shogun, Obsidian, Viking, Elven, Kobold, Nautical, Heraldry, Darkstar. What? There's a Darkstar basement. Lord British are add-on store items. Okay. Okay, now I understand. Finally. Then we have wooden bathtub, porcelain bathtub, wooden bathtub, and the recipes, you'll find it in Brittany. Okay, that's Central Brittany, the Brittany Decoration Merchant. Then we have Elven Chandelier, Elven Table Lamp, Elven Street Lamp, Elven Floor Lamp, and Elven Wall Scones. How do you read that? Scones or sconcy? I don't know. I don't care. Okay, so These are drop items from all elven enemies. Then we have the recorder. The recipe is in music merchants or music stores. Then we have wooden crate and wooden barrel. Again, the recipe is in Brittany, the decoration merchant NPC, long-standing banner and short-standing banner. Recipe is in Airy, kobold chandelier, so all kobolds. Cloth heraldry boots. Okay, so we have new heraldry boots, gloves, and they are all available from the add-on store. Honestly, you don't really need those. Like for example, I'm pretty happy with the way my avatar looks right now. So if it's just for looks, you don't really need those heraldry parts, okay? Because it will just cost you money, because they are eternal. They use eternal patterns, and eternal patterns you get them from the add-on store or from the crown merchants. So if you want to save money and crown merchants, I suggest that you don't get this these other parts. The leggings and the chest are good enough, and then you can just find an item that will look good on the chest and the leggings part of the heraldry. Okay. So there's also the Obsidian Order cloth armor, again eternal pattern in the add-on store. Okay, brewing delayed. Awesome. So those who are expecting brewing or brewery, well, it's not coming. It's not coming in this release. We were able to get a lot of the foundational work done for brewing, including the creation of casks, barley, hops, white grain, grapes, goblets, and cups. However, on the programming side, we realized we needed to resurrect the ability to store containers within containers to make brewing scalable for most players, so they could store their casks. Thus, work on containers within containers and work on changing vendor fees has caused us to have to delay brewing until release 55. Well, it's still coming. Hopefully it comes in release 55, which is just a month from now. Okay, containers within containers. Containers can now be placed within other containers. This also means you can send containers in the mail system. Please note that the item limit is controlled by the top container and is not per container. So adding containers does not increase the limit of the top container. Okay, so that is another good change, because right now all my containers are stored in the bank, because I can't store them in another container in my house or in my lots. Okay, visual status of chests. Treasure chests now have multiple visual states. If the chest has treasure or will soon have treasure after scene load, its lid will be closed. The lid will open slightly while being looted. The lid will be mostly open after being looted and awaiting restocking, or fully open after being looted for chests that do not restock. This should help in preventing some frustration about time wasted searching chests. Hospitaller title login reset. The Hospitaller title must now be set each time a player logs in. Some players were setting themselves as Hospitallers and then forgetting to remove the title even when they were no longer actively helping other players. So this change is meant, okay, not a very important change, but anyway. Field of view. We have adjusted the field of view setting of our camera to improve the perspective of the game, and added sliders in options that allow players to adjust field of view setting for third-person camera views as well as first-person view. Note, increasing the field of view will increase the graphics load as more objects will be visible. Okay, so I have yet to try that. Okay, I'm still not sure if that is a good or if that is a bad change. Item viewer resizable. We have made the in-game item viewer window resizable to make viewing items easier. We are planning on more improvements to this feature in future release. Player guide on launcher. We added a question mark. What? They said they will never add a question mark in this game, and now they added a question mark. Why? Well, it's not what you're thinking. We added a question mark to the launcher, which takes you to the player guide. Quality settings renamed. The original video quality settings naming was unintuitive, so we renamed the settings to better indicate a progression. The new names are fastest, fast, simple, good, very good, formerly beautiful, and best. Okay, multiplayer mode renamed to open. We renamed multiplayer mode to open mode in all the in-game menus to match the naming we use in the player handbook and physical goods. Looking for group confirmation, we added a confirmation dialog to the LFG feature, which clarifies the purpose and rules for using the tool. Character polish passes will continue to be made on the male peasants and pledged servants. Okay, so we have the skeleton plunderers here, companion armor and weapons. Okay, so we have Ariel's cloth armor, Conrad's plate armor, Fiona's leather armor, Fiona Fitz-Owen's triple crossbow, you know, the crossbow that hits you 3 times, Fiona's lute, Silverhorn, Conrad's sword of courage, Throne Guard, Conrad's shield of courage, and Ariel Rosehaven's staff of truth. Okay, common cloak. So this, I like this addition because I like cloaks. This is craftable. In release 53, we introduced the worn cloak as part of the suit of worn armor found on low-level humanoids. Players loved this cloak and requested a pristine version, which we have now provided. The recipe for lovely common cloak can be found in tailoring merchants throughout the realm, so no need to go to a certain town to get the recipe. It's available everywhere. Well, not everywhere there is a tailoring NPC merchant, and as you know, there is now a tailoring merchant in Erie. Okay, so we've talked about that. Streamer cloak. So this cloak was created as a reward for our streamer program and features an image of our old-time camera. Okay, no picture of the cloak. Hopefully it looks good. King's Diner 2018 Community Cloak. This class Gauntlet's Community Cloak was created for SodaCon VIP dinner guests and is blue with yellow trim. Additional character slots. Players can now purchase up to 10 additional character slots on the add-on store. Okay, so if you have the cash, I'm sure many players of Shroud of the Avatar has a lot of cash, so they can go to the add-on store and buy up to 10 additional character slots. Obsidian Order cloth armor. Okay, look at that. Look at that. It looks really awesome. Recorders is a musical instrument. Gold Crown Merchant polish. Okay, so the Crown Merchants look identical to our other merchants, which was confusing because those merchants sell completely different inventories, and more importantly, Crown Merchants use our premium currency, so they changed that. They changed the look at least. So now we have the heraldry boots and gloves. Look at that. Those were added in this release. Then we have the Frost Guys Victims and Ice Wolf polish. I'm not sure what these are. The first iteration of these were simple modifications done by one of our quest designers, and while passable, did not meet our minimum visual requirements. So we had our character and VFX team to do passes on these to improve the visuals. Dance and sit animations for summons. Okay, look at that. They can now dance and sit. Of course, to unlock them, you'll have to pay some cash. Buy them from the add-on store. Crossbow polish. The bowstrings on crossbows now animate properly. So new emotes: old prospector dance, scheming, heart attack, drink, and toast polish. white fireworks variations. And we have gear fixes. Okay, male peasants and NPC servants polished delayed. Combat. Wow, there's still a lot of information here. Companions polish. So I'm just going to browse through all of them now. Look at that. Scaling for summoned and tamed creatures. What does it mean? As part of the work on improving companions leveling, we discovered an issue with leveling of summoned and tamed creatures, where their stats were not leveling up. This has now been fixed. Good. Virtue effects and more gear. Okay, those are just effects. Solar and lunar blessings. We created 2 new scene blessings for rewarding players when completing quests and puzzles. The solar blessing gives sun attunement plus 15, moon attunement minus 20. So it's like a plus and minus thing. Stealth eggplants. A number of scenes have had stealth field traps, which makes nearby players and NPC invisible. Okay. Double adventure experience. Okay, for the first 2 weeks of release 54, you will earn double adventure experience for defeating enemies and turning in quests. Use water buckets on self polish. Okay, Gust versus Mesmerize. Gust will now remove any mesmerizing effects. Okay, stun, root, and knockdown. These skills will now be more difficult to remove, and attempting to remove them by jumping will cost more focus. Okay, I used to jump a lot whenever my character or avatar gets stunned, and now they just made it harder. Again, the game is all about punishing the player. So if you are playing Shroud of the Avatar, then be prepared to get punished. And no, we don't have the Punisher in this game, but still, it's all about punishing. Okay, so if you are into BDSM, then you will enjoy Shroud of the Avatar. Seriously, I don't know what I'm talking about now. I'm just making some kind of joke, which is not, which I think is not really that funny. Still, making things harder is like punishing you in game. So there you go. Okay, defensive positions. The bonus for polearm skill defensive position has been greatly increased. Nice, since I'm a polearm user. 6 damage resist instead of 2.5. Movement speed in combat. The movement speed bonus from spell, skills, consumables, and items will now be reduced by half when a player enters into combat mode. Okay, lightning discharge and chain lightning. The stun duration on these 3 air spells has been normalized. Previously, discharge was lasting as much as twice as long as lightning. Plate mail torso. The stats for all plate mail chest pieces have been increased to match their large fizzle value. Okay, what? That is a good change. Okay, maybe I can switch back to plate mail. Right now, I'm wearing chain mail. Prone targets. Prone targets caused by knockdown will now be treated as being on the ground for effects. The most common situation for this is that prone targets should now be hit for damage by earthquake. Shield air and stealth. Having a shield of air active will prevent users from using stealth effects and abilities. Blink cooldown. The cooldown for blink has been increased to 15 seconds. Okay, so no more spamming blink. You think blink is cool, huh? You love spamming blink. Now you'll have to wait 15 seconds to use it again. Block and parry. These are each capped to stop a maximum of 75% of damage each. So if an attack is both blocked and parried, it could stop up to 94% of damage. Wow. So if a dragon hits you for like 1,000 damage, so you'll only 94% of that is like what, 6%? So you'll get 600 damage. You'll still die. Okay, bludgeon balance work. A pass was made to try and balance bludgeon for PvE and especially PvP. So you see the word especially for PvP, because the way they balance things is they balance it first with PvP, then hopes that it will work on PvE. But at least that is, I assume, how they do it. All bludgeon attacks cannot be parried now and will never result in a glancing blow. Additionally, break armor and break weapon have had their debuff values doubled. Ooh! We believe these changes plus the changes to stun and knockdown will put bludgeon in a much better place compared to other weapon types. Okay, Moon Eater fix. Due to an oversight, Moon Eater had half the bonus of its Sun counterpart. Stealth fixes. We fixed various issues with stealth where it would not work in certain areas or cases. Reagents tooltip fix. We fixed an issue where reagent use chance would sometimes show up as a negative number instead of 0. Multi-shot fix. We fixed an issue with multi-shot that was preventing the third shot from ever hitting. Maybe the avatar is just a bad shot. That's why the third shot was not hitting. Cover messaging fix. We fixed an issue where players were not getting proper messaging when they were in cover. Okay, so there is a cover mechanic in this game, but it sucks. What else? Where is that? Okay, look at that. Something happened. Now I have to scroll down. Okay, Chaos Magic delayed the work on performance and overall combat balance. Unfortunately, caused us to have to delay the work on the expansions, balance, and polish work on Chaos Magic. Okay, so too bad for those who are, using Chaos Magic in the game. Player towns and player housing. Increased decoration limits. Okay, so the game will be more laggy. So it's laggy now, but now it's going to be laggier. Why? Because they increased the decoration limits. With the steady progress in performance over the last few releases, we are now able to make changes to decoration limits. Therefore, we have increased the decoration limits for all player lots and player-owned towns significantly. Wow, that means it's a lot, because the word is significantly. Now the problem with this is, okay, so they tested this in the QA where not a lot of players play, maybe like 100. I'm not even sure if there's 100 players testing in QA, so that's just my guess. So what would happen in the live server? They increased the decoration limits, so that means more decorations in houses and in player-owned towns. And as you know, large towns like New Britannian Market, okay, so that is a large town. Whenever I go there, I don't go there that often anymore because it's very, very laggy. I only go there to update my vendor. It's very, very laggy because of all the dynamic objects that are being pulled from the server. The information being pulled from the server, so it makes the town really laggy. Now that they've increased the limit, I wonder, will it be as laggy, or will it be laggier, or will it be unplayable? Next, we have wooden crate, wooden barrel decorations. They're craftable. Bathtubs, okay, Alban lights, okay. I think we went through that already. Okay, another good change is lot expiration emails. If your lot is about to expire due to taxes, we will now send you an email to the email registered to your account, warning you of the expiration and location of the lot or lots at risk. Okay, so this is a good addition, because sometimes there are players who don't really play the game, but they have lots in the game. Maybe they just claimed it, so that when they come back to the game, they have a lot of their own, so they don't need to go town hopping just to find a lot. but right now there's a lot of available lots in the game. So if you lose a lot, if a lot expires and you come back and play again, you won't have any problems claiming lots in the game, because there's not a lot of players, but there's a lot of lots, lots of lots. Okay, so at least that is a good change. Keys and recipes as decorations, nice. Storefront row houses. So again, we have like two storefront row houses. One is craftable, but it's only 2 stories. I don't know why they can't make a 3-story and a 4-story craftable row house. Please tell us why only 2 stories. And then of course there's the 4-story storefront row house that you can buy from the add-on store, and it doesn't really look that good. If you look at that, I don't know, I'm not impressed. It's not that good. It looks kind of weird actually. Anyway, I'm sure there are avatars who would love this. I'm not going to buy this. I'm just going to use the craftable 2-story. Maybe that is the reason, that is the reason they didn't make a 3-story and a 4-story version, because they want you to buy the 4-story version from the add-on store. There you go. I just solved the mystery of why they didn't give us a 3-story and 4-story craftable storefront row houses. That is why they want you to buy the 4-story storefront house, but it looks like crap. I don't like how it looks. Okay, still the most beautiful house or row house in the game is the ornate greenhouse row house. That looks really awesome. The next one is the Viking. Okay, I really love the Viking, and after the Viking is the Shogun, and after the Shogun is the Elven, and after the Elven is the Kobold. I really don't like the Kobold, and of course this one is maybe between Elven, a little over Elven, well, a little lower than Elven. Okay, so anyway, it doesn't look good. Okay, anyway, don't hate me, because that's just my opinion, because I still think the greenhouse, the ornate greenhouse row house is the best looking row house in the game, and they should have used that as the template. Okay, okay, I heard a bell. Where did that bell come from? Okay, anyway, I heard a bell. That usually means there's a follower. Okay, I'm going to check who the follower is and thank the follower. While I'm ranting about row houses. I don't know, I just don't like the look of the row house. Maybe if what they did was made it, I don't know, it looks awkward. Maybe they should have made all the windows, all the floors with glass walls. Okay, if they did that, I would like it very much if they did that. But right now it looks kind of weird. So right now the first 2 floors have glass walls. The 3rd and the 4th floor has have brick walls. Okay, stone walls. So if they change this and make all the walls, even and make the walls of the 3rd and the 4th floors into glass walls, I think it would look better. Okay, but that's just me imagining how it would look with glass walls, all 4 floors with glass walls. But right now it doesn't look really good. It's not good. It doesn't look good. Okay, it looks weird. It looks awkward. It looks like the stone 4-story row house. So if you know, I think that's what it's called, the stone 4-story row house. That thing doesn't look good. It looks like a crypt. Okay, and this row house looks like a crypt. You just change, if you change the color of the stone into the one used in the stone row house, it would look like a crypt. So you know, it's like a big version of the crypt. So what a change that I would suggest is that made the walls, the front walls of the 3rd and the 4th floor into glass walls as well. I think that would look a lot better than what they have now. Anyway, so I'm not going to buy it. So why am I complaining? I'm not going to buy it. Again, I just want them to give us a you know, a craftable 3-story and 4-story storefront row house. And as I've said, I've solved the mystery why they didn't give us that. It's because they want us to buy this crappy looking thing. Okay, so that's the reason why. Okay, so look at that. So I switched to Streamlabs for a second because I'm going to check. Okay, I'm going to switch to this scene first. Okay, so I heard a bell, and that bell usually means, there you go. So I got a subscriber, and his name is Don't Ask. Anyway, thank you to Don't Ask. I'm not going to ask anything. I just want to say thank you, Don't Ask, for subscribing to my channel in YouTube. Again, you can also follow me in Twitch if you're watching this in Twitch. Okay, so let's go back to the release instructions. Switching back. Oh, wrong window. There you go. Next, we have the Village Basement Inn. So this is a great addition. I own a couple of inns in the game. I have one in Veritas Sanctuary. It only has like 2 tenants, and I have one in Burgos. I have no tenants in Burgos, but still I might buy this. Okay, so there are 2 versions. We have the 2-story Village Basement Inn and the 5-story Village Basement Inn. The 2-story Village Basement Inn, you can buy that from a home merchant in the game. But the 5-story Village Inn, you'll have to buy that from the add-on store. My guess is the price would be around $35 to $50. But you don't have to buy it. If you have Crowns of the Obsidians, you can go to a crown merchant and use Crowns of the Obsidian or Gold Crowns of the Obsidian to buy this 5-story Basement Inn. In my case, I'm just going to use the 2-story Village Basement Inn. Okay, I think that's good enough for my 2 inns in the game. Then of course we have basement hatches. Look at that. They are just like you know, reskinned version of the default basement hatch. So it looks better. So it will improve the look of your property, especially if you have a basement hatch outside. And you can buy different types of basement hatches. You can buy them in game from a NPC merchant or from the add-on store. And look at that, we have a large ornate telescope. The large telescope that is in the observatory home is now freestanding. It's now a freestanding decoration that can be placed and used in other locations. Okay, so what does it do? Well, it magnifies the sky. You know, the sky, the textured sky of the game. Trust me, the sky is not real in Shroud of the Avatar. It's just a texture. So now you can take a look at the textured sky of Shroud of the Avatar and you'll get a better look at it. Maybe you will see some pixelations if you use this large ornate telescope, you know. And it's always a good thing to see pixelation, okay? standing banners. Okay, so you can buy this from the add-on store, or you can buy them from the NPC merchants. I'm not sure if it's an item or a pattern or a recipe, but it's also available in game, so you don't need to buy. Oops, why am I recalling? I pressed the wrong key. You don't need to spend money to get a standing banner, unless of course you want the really awesome one, or the ones for your heraldry. Okay, hourglass. Okay, so it's not enough that we have a lot of clocks in the game. So we have like ornate clocks, and we have craftable clocks. Okay, I hear what do you call this? I heard, my goodness, I've been rambling for like over an hour now. It's almost 2 hours and I'm already somewhat tired. So it's not enough that we have ornate clocks in the game, or it's not enough that we have craftable clocks in the game. We now have what do you call this? Hourglasses to tell our time. Yes. Okay, so if you really want to, if you're really hardcore about taking your time, or learning what the time is, if you're really hardcore about it, well, you can use the hourglass. Again, hourglasses are interactive objects and can be turned over. Maybe I guess you can use it as a stopwatch, something like that. Okay, for 1 hour in game, for one in-game hour. Okay, so I can see a use for this, maybe in a gasball match, so if there's a gasball match, you can use the hourglass as the official timer. Once the sands go down, the half or the period ends. So I can see some uses for this, but still, we already have a lot of clocks in the game, and I don't see a craftable version of this. Maybe they should add a craftable of this. But then again, you can buy this from the add-on store. Again, buying from the add-on store is like supporting the game. So so if you have the extra cash, so it's I suggest that you go and buy from the add-on store, because as I've said, it's like supporting the game. And without the add-on store, without cash, the development of this game is bleeding the developers' money. Okay, so if you look at their statements, they're losing money. They're not making money. So, and as I've said earlier, earlier I said, if the game has no players, a game dies. Well, if a game don't make money, the game also dies. So it's one way of supporting the game. So those players who hates the add-on store, please don't hate the add-on store. So if you're a Shroud of the Avatar player and you don't like the add-on store, don't hate it. I don't hate it. There are things that I don't like in the add-on store. There are items that I don't like, but I don't generally hate it. I sometimes buy from the add-on store, especially during the monthly live streams. I sometimes spend like $5 to $10. The most I've spent in the add-on store is like maybe 20. Sometimes I just use before I would store credits, and then use the store credits to buy things from the add-on store, because before the game has store credits, so you can buy $5 of store credits, and then that would accumulate every month during the live streams, and then you'll have enough. Maybe if you want to buy, for example, I accumulated enough store credits to buy a Gothic house, and the Gothic house is like $100. Okay, so I won't be able to buy a Gothic house outright because I don't have $100. But because I was like saving store credits every month, I was able to store enough store credits to buy a Gothic house. Unfortunately, store credits are no longer in the game. They removed it, and that sucks. Now during live streams, if you need to buy something, just buy crowns of the obsidians. But then again, you will lose value because $5 of crowns of the obsidian will only give you like 4. Okay, so it's kind of lower, but still, now that there's no more store credits in the game or in the add-on store, crown credits is the next best thing if you wish to, save up your funds, or save up save money to buy something in the game, because everything in the add-on store now, at least from what I know, everything in the add-on store is also in the game, and you can buy them from crown merchants. So if you save enough crowns of the obsidians, gold crowns of the obsidians, you can buy anything from the crown merchants in game. Okay, next we have the globe container. I don't know what this is for. So it's a globe container, so you can put things in it, like in the picture. There's a bottle, and what are those other things? Maybe those are also bottles. So again, these are available. This is available in the add-on store. And of course, we have the heraldry chest. If you're not happy with the normal crafted storage chest and you want to put your heraldry or your blazon, your design, your heraldry on your chest, well, you can buy this one. Well, you'll buy the eternal pattern, not the chest. Okay, so you'll buy the eternal pattern from the add-on store. And of course, we have some new paintings. These are Dennis Lubey illustrations. Hopefully I'm saying his last name correctly. If I'm saying it wrong, then I apologize. Okay, I don't mean to say it wrong. So I'm just going to call him Dennis. Dennis L. Okay, we used the beautiful illustrations Dennis L created for the Sword of Midras and the player manual to create over 30 framed pieces of art decorations. Wow, and you can buy them from the add-on store or in-game from the crown merchants. Okay, Perennial Coast landscape paintings. Again, these are available in the add-on store and in the from the in-game crown merchants. Animal skin rug polish. We polish various issues on the animal skin rugs, including adjusting the relative scale of the rugs to match the scale of the source creatures, better matching the scale of the heads to the bodies, and making the heads lay more flat on the ground. Okay, so that is a great change, because if you've seen the rugs, they look weird. Actually, I've seen a bear rug in real life. Okay, the bear rugs in real life are large. Okay, they're large, but in game, I don't know, they look small with a big head on top of it. It looks scary. So anyway, if you like looking at scary things, or if you like decorating your houses in the game with scary objects, well, you can craft one of these rugs. But fortunately, they say they changed the they changed how it looks to better match better match the size of the rugs and the animal, I believe. Okay, next we have phonographs versus container limit. Phonographs no longer count as containers when calculating the container limit on your lot. They simply count as decoration. Okay, good change. Fire and flame effect polish. All of the built-in fireplaces and lights with flame effects have been updated to use the latest flame. Okay, good change as well. It's not important actually, but it's still good. Signs, tooltips polish. We have removed the word sign from the tooltip from all signs. For example, the in sign will simply say in when you hover over it versus in sign. In sign, it's like saying ensign. Okay. Player-owned municipality. Oh wow! So from Metropolis we now have municipality. at the request of several town owners, obviously rich town owners, because upgrading a town is not cheap. It costs a lot of money, and I'm not talking about in-game money, and I'm not talking about gold crowns of the obsidians. I'm talking about real freaking US dollars, so it takes a lot of those. Who have reached the maximum lot allocation of Metropolis, we have created a new size of player-owned town bigger than the Metropolis. A municipality increases the available lot area by 19,200 square meters. So, if a Metropolis is not laggy enough for you, you're in luck, because now we have a municipality and it will be even more laggier. Okay, so wow, okay, that's redundant. More and laggier, so it's just even more laggy or laggier. It's not more laggier. So my English teacher will get mad at me, even though I'm not really good at English. Again, for those watching, English is not my natural language. It just so it's because it's the language used by many people. It can be understood by a lot of people. So rather than using my own language where I'm the only one who can understand it. Okay, next we have the R54 lot deed raffle winners. Okay, so if you're a new player, you still have time to buy those raffle tickets. Okay, so stop what you're doing. If you have 5,000 game gold, if you have 10,000 game gold, go and find a home NPC merchant or a decorations NPC merchant and buy yourself a raffle ticket, so you can stop complaining about not having a home or a lot in the game. Okay, these are for new players. Okay, so they are giving away like 50 POT deeds, Place Anywhere deeds, 50, and they're also giving away 100 player-owned town deeds. That is a lot of deeds, and with the number of players, the game doesn't have a lot of players. The population is not that large, so winning a deed, you'll have a what? Now I'm lost. Okay, so your chance of winning a deed is very high. In fact, yesterday, I think it's a day before yesterday, I bought 10 Place Anywhere deeds. Okay, so 10, that cost me like 100,000 game gold. Again, for new players out there who is looking to own their own house and lot in the game, if you have 5,000 game gold right now, or if you have 10,000 game gold right now, go to the nearest home and decorations NPC merchant and buy your raffle tickets now, because tomorrow is too late. It's too late. Okay, to stop pretending. Okay, so tomorrow is too late, because once the game is released, or the released, this thing is really hard to say, seriously. If the release is released, look at that. Does that make any sense? Okay, so if the update, or if the patch, if update 54 or patch 54 is released tomorrow, then it's over. You'll have to wait for the next release. Okay, so buy your raffle tickets now. Okay, I'm not talking about the veteran players who have been playing this game for over a year, because they know what they're going to do, and most of them have like millions, hundreds of millions of game gold. In fact, they can buy all the raffle, they can buy like thousands. Okay, they can win everything here. Anyway, so again guys, buy your raffle tickets now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the last minute, because if you do, then it could be over or too late. Okay, so don't be too late. Buy your tickets now. Okay, house and furniture fixes. Throne of Bone now set up for NPCs, so NPCs can now sit. I believe that's how I'm understanding it. NPCs can now sit on a throne of bone. So other fixes for these items: player-owned towns on the overworld. Okay, so look at that. We have a bunch of additions. We have look at that, so many. Again, there are so many towns. In fact, well, I'm not going to call it a fact. Maybe my guess is my guess is there are more towns in the game right now than there are players in the game right now as well. Okay, that's just my guess. Okay, that's just a guess. My guess is there are like 400 towns, and if we base it on the number of players in Steam, we get like around 200 players. And then if we double that to include those players who are playing or using the game launcher, maybe around 200, another 200, 400. Seriously, there are so many towns with so many available lots. There are so many available lots. There are more lots in the game than there are players in the game. Okay, so I wish the developers can see that. Okay, I wish they can see that, and I wish they're doing things that will, change that. We can't leave that as is. Okay, because if we leave that as is right now, then what is going to happen to this game? Okay, we need more players to fill all these towns. Right now I have like I have 10 lots and I'm just one player. Seriously, most of the lots, most lots in the game are owned by I'm going to rephrase that. Most of the veteran players in the game own multiple lots in New Britannia. I'm sure there are players out there who own 20 lots. I own about I own a little over 10 lots, and I'm just one player. Okay, and I'm not even an original backer. I spent like $20 to get the game using a discount from Alienware. So that's how much I spent on this game. Okay, so there are other players who are like large backers who spent thousands of dollars, so they have like multiple lots, multiple deeds, and those are all tax-free. And then since they have a lot of money, they can buy more deeds from the add-on store, and they can even win more deeds via raffle. And I'm sure there are players out there who owns like more than, or at least maybe around 20 lots all over New Britannia. Seriously. Okay, so what we need are more players to fill all the lots in these towns. Look at that, there's so many towns. Okay, if you go to these towns, some of them are empty, some of them are half full, but none of them are truly full. Okay, none of them are truly full. Okay, so some are reserved. Okay, but I wouldn't call that filled up, because it's reserved. And there are player-run towns. There's like 100 player-run towns in the game, and most of them are empty. Seriously, lots of town, few players. Okay, lots of available lots, lots of lots. Look at that, lots of lots, few players. I hope the developers are seeing that, and I hope they're doing something to correct that and fix that. They need to advertise this game. Okay. Also, Richard Garriott talks about, I heard in one interview about virtual reality. Lord British Richard Garriott mentioned that virtual reality needs a killer app to make it popular. Okay, so it needs a killer app. That's what Richard Garriott said in an interview that I've seen him. I forgot which interview that is, but he was being interviewed about virtual reality. Those VR goggles, VR glasses things. I don't have that. I can't afford to buy one. So he was talking about virtual reality, and he said VR needs a killer app, and I'm saying this now. I'm saying this to him. Shroud of the Avatar needs a killer feature, okay, a killer gameplay feature that will, really put this game on the map, because okay, that is what this game needs, a killer feature, something that players, World of Warcraft players, the Elder Scrolls Online players will will look forward to trying out and maybe playing the game eventually. Okay, so this game needs a killer something, just like what he said with the virtual reality technology. The VR needs a killer app. Shroud of the Avatar needs a killer feature or a killer something. Okay, anyway, moving forward, enough with the ranting. Okay, new and updated dynamic POTs. Look at that, more POTs. Woo! Okay, so these POTs are like changing hands from one owner to another owner, because when for example, one owner gets tired of the game. This game sucks. I have this POT. No one is in my POT. How do I make my POT successful? And then he would eventually quit, and then he would sell the POT, and it would move on to another, and another player will buy it and maybe have plans for it, and then eventually it wouldn't turn out as he wants the POT to turn out. Then he would sell it again, and then another player will buy it. So many of these player-owned towns have changed hand multiple times. My goodness. Honestly, I would want my own POT, but unfortunately, they're not selling this anymore. And buying from another player sounds expensive. I could hardly afford to buy a 200 GTX, a $200 video card. Seriously, it's very expensive. I just checked Amazon. The lowest price they have for a GTX 1050 is like $120 to $130. But since I can't order online, or I can't order internationally online because of the custom tax, I've tried ordering once. I bought an item once online internationally, and the custom tax that I paid was higher than the price of the item that I bought online. Seriously, that's why even though the price in Amazon for a GTX 1050 is like $120 to $130 something dollars, I have no choice but to buy the card locally from a physical computer store, and it cost me around $200, and now I'm broke. Did it improve Shroud of the Avatar? Maybe, but I did get an improvement in Fortnite. Wow, I was playing Fortnite. I think yesterday I was playing Fortnite, or maybe it was the other day, and the game was running very, very smooth. It was very smooth. Okay. I thought my avatar died. Okay, so we have all these changes in POTs. And some of them got upgraded. Let's see if there are towns that got upgraded to municipality. Let's check. Rename, converted to forest, upgraded to crossroads. Oh, Bastion's Point is now a crossroads town. Upgraded to hamlet. Upgraded to crossroads village. Hamlet, crossroads village. Village, crossroads village. Crossroads. Okay, so no towns upgraded to a municipality. Maybe it's because it's not yet available. What am I saying? It's not yet available. It will be available tomorrow. So they'll have to upgrade tomorrow for the next release. So that will be implemented in the next release. Okay, physical goods. Okay, so physical goods don't affect me because I'm not an original backer. So I'm not qualified for this physical goods. So it says here, Richard Lord British Garriott has personally signed over 5,000 stickers that will be applied to various signed items. Note that these stickers were used because of the different location in which the items were being produced and packaged. Oh, by the way, if you are, posting comments in chat, in Twitch or in YouTube, unfortunately I am not seeing your messages because I only have one monitor and it's displaying my browser. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry if I'm not responding to, if you have any questions, if you're saying something, if you're like saying, this guy suck. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any of them because my browser is on this post in the Shroud of the Avatar forum. So again, I'm sorry if I'm not responding to any of your messages, if there are any messages. Okay, next we have, so it says here that RG just signed over 5,000 stickers. Note that stickers were used because of the different locations in which the items were being produced and packaged at this point. Okay, so some people are complaining about the stickers. Okay, sometimes I rant against Shroud of the Avatar, but this time I'm going to rant against for Shroud of the Avatar. So people are complaining about the stickers. Yes, you'll get stickers, okay, but these are still signed stickers. Richard RG still manually and physically signed those stickers. So even though you're getting a certificate or whatever you're getting, and it has a sticker, the signature on the sticker is a real signature. Okay, but unfortunately there are players who are no longer playing the game. They're still complaining about the game, even though they're not adding anything to the game. They're still complaining about it and attacking the game. And I've read some posts about, the physical goods will just have stickers. Okay, still they may be stickers, but the signature on the sticker, the value of the item is not the sticker. It's not on the sticker. It's on the signature on the sticker. I would understand it if they were complaining because maybe the signature were stamped on the sticker. Okay, but it's not. The signature, Richard Garriott's signature, wasn't stamped on the sticker. He physically and manually signed the stickers. So you're still getting a genuine signature or signed item from Richard Garriott. The signature is where the real value is. Now again, if the signature was stamped, stamped, not signed by hand but stamped, then I can see why people, or why these people who are no longer in the game are complaining. But it's not a stamped signature. It's a physically, manually, signed by hand signature. Okay, he just signed it on a sticker. Okay, because it's more convenient to transfer from the sticker to the whatever the item is. It's more convenient, especially when they are in a rush of giving you all these physical goods. Honestly, I have no stake on this physical goods things because I don't qualify for them. But still, it just annoys me about some of the complaints about the complaints I'm reading about the physical goods, especially the signature. You're still getting a physically, manually hand signed item, hand signed signature. by Richard Garriott. You're not getting. You see those doctors? They have those stamps. Even though they stamp their license, they still sign it. Okay, in their you know what do you call this? Prescriptions. They still sign it. So you're still getting a physically signed, hand-signed signature from Richard Garriott. Okay, so those are not stamped. Again, I would understand it if the signatures were stamped on the sticker and then the sticker was placed on the item or the goods or the physical good. But you're not. You're getting. It may be a sticker, but still the signature on the sticker is a real. It's a genuine signature, hand signed by Richard Garriott. Okay, audio. Weapons, we updated the sounds. Nice, that's good. Okay, even though I don't hear most of the sounds because you know, I keep my volume low. Combat impact sounds. Okay, music, player houses, the floors of all player houses are now tagged to play proper footsteps sound. Okay, another complaint that I've read somewhere that there is no footsteps in the game. Or you can't hear footsteps, or there is no footsteps, something like that. But there is. Okay, maybe it's turned off. So if you are the one complaining about not having footsteps in the game, maybe it's turned off. Just go to the options. You can turn on and off footsteps sounds. So if it's turned off, you won't hear any footsteps. If it's on, then you will hear footsteps. Again, in my case, I don't hear the footsteps because my volume is set to low. Elevators now have proper sound effects. Chess. Okay, monthly live stream and make a difference items. Okay, so we're now getting the Obsidian armor set, which is, look at that, it's freaking awesome. I'm not sure if I'm going to wear it. I'm getting 2 of this. Okay, I have because I use 2 accounts to you know, to spend money in the last. I spent like a total of $10 in the last live stream, $5 each on 2 accounts, so I would be getting 2 sets of this. Okay, so, and it looks really awesome. Look at that. We're also going to get the mage robes, throne, favors, obelisk. I'm not sure where I'm going to use the it's interior size, so I can use it in my houses, and of course the 2 weeks double XP. Awesome, nice. Okay, autism awareness blue standing torches. So you can get this from the Make a Difference store. So if you wish to support autism awareness, buy this item, and a fraction of the money you spent on this item will go to autism awareness. And then we have the Airy Fun Primal Nature 2018. So this is about you know, nature and conserving nature. It says here the Airy Fund is running a funding drive for Conservation International, and to assist with their efforts, we have created 2 custom nature-themed items that you can earn only by donating to the drive. The Primal Nature 2018 Reaper sapling pet, so you'll get a baby Groot clone. Obviously, baby Groot looks a lot better, but still, this guy is kind of cute. Still cute. He looks scary, but he's also kind of cute. So you can get this if you donate to the Airy Fun Primal Nature funding drive. Again, I think to qualify for this, you'll need to donate at least $25. So the more money you donate, the more rewards you'll get. So that is how it works. You'll also look at that. Look at the scale. So this is a pet. So this is not a baby Groot, it's like a toddler Groot. Then of course you also get this cloak, the Primal Nature 2018 Community Cost Cloak. It doesn't look good, honestly. Look at that. It looks boring. What they should have done is use the new cloak. The what is the new cloak called? It's not called the worn cloak. The common cloak. So because based on the worn cloak, well, the common cloak is based on the worn cloak, and the worn cloak looks really awesome. It would have looked a lot better if they used the common cloak rather than this front class cloak. I'm not a big fan of the front class cloak. My avatar is using it now, but because I have no choice, because the heraldry cloak uses the front class cloak design. Of course, if there was other options, like maybe, you know, using if there was a heraldry fur colored cloak, or maybe a heraldry common cloak, I would have bought either of those two, and I wouldn't have bought this one, the current heraldry cloak. Okay, so anyway, that's what it is, and that's it. Oh my goodness, we just went through that, and it took me like 2 hours and 17 minutes. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed watching this video. Again, release 54 will be release. My goodness, so it will be released tomorrow, May 31st 2018 at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. In my case, it will be June 1 11:30 p.m. I don't know what time it is, +8 GMT, something like that. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed watching this video, and again, if you are, you know, chatting or posting messages and questions and comments in the video in Twitch or in YouTube, I apologize because I'm not seeing your messages or any messages at all. It's just me rambling because I don't have any chat window open. Anyway guys, still, if you enjoyed the video, then please like it, share to your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you're watching on YouTube, and click that notification bell. As you know, YouTube is making things just like Shroud of the Avatar. YouTube is making things harder and harder for their users, okay? And of course, if you're watching this in Twitch, I hope you're watching this in Twitch. I hope you're watching this in YouTube as well. So if you're watching this in Twitch, you can follow me in Twitch. So please follow me in Twitch. Please hit that follow button. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and see you in Shroud of the Avatar. Bye bye. Now I can go back to mining.